Welcome to the Grimdark Chronicles. Something of mystery, an information repository, and a place of history and bygone times. With the archival world of Calliope lost to heretical treachery, now only a few data repositories remain. Origins and first founding. The Space Wolves were established as part of the first founding by the Emperor, created as the 5th Legion to enforce his vision of a united humanity. The Space Wolves embody the fierce warrior culture of their homeworld, Fenris, a world known for its harsh environment and warlike tribes. This world shapes their personality as a chapter, instilling values of strength, honor, and camaraderie. As one of the original legions, their role extended beyond mere warfare. They were chosen to be both conquerors and protectors, reflecting the Emperor's ideal of a warrior culture grounded in loyalty and valor. Their independence and occasional divergence from Imperial norms would make them a unique force within the Imperium, admired and sometimes feared for their distinct traditions and ferocious fighting style. The Primarch Russ, the Primarch of the Space Wolves, is legendary for his strength, wisdom, and unmatched combat prowess. Often described as a warrior king, Russ epitomized bravery and a code of honor that has guided the chapter since its founding. Known for his unwavering loyalty to the Emperor and an instinct for battle, Russ instilled the values of brotherhood, courage, and kinship in his legion. His leadership style was straightforward and often bold, favoring aggressive tactics and close combat engagements. Russ's legacy of personal honor and loyalty continues to define the Space Wolves, whose culture revolves around proving one's worth on the battlefield. This focus on valor and brotherhood makes Russ an enduring figure of inspiration, revered by his warriors and honored in battle and ritual alike. The Great Crusade. During the Great Crusade, the Space Wolves were a fearsome force in the Emperor's grand campaign, engaging Xenos and rebellious factions with unrelenting ferocity. Their strategy often involved sudden, brutal assaults designed to overwhelm enemies through sheer force, reflecting their Fenrisian roots. Known for their courage and resilience, they frequently led vanguard assaults in large battles, serving as both shock troops and inspirational figures among Imperial forces. The experiences of the Great Crusade fostered a sense of independence within the Space Wolves, who began to prefer their own ways over the standardized Codex Astartes, setting the stage for their unique traditions. Their fierce tactics and reputation as relentless warriors in battle solidified their role as defenders of the Imperium, driven by loyalty to their brothers in the Emperor. The Horus Heresy. The Horus Heresy was a defining period for the Space Wolves, testing their loyalty and fortitude. During the Heresy, they fought on the front lines, unwavering in their allegiance to the Emperor. The infamous Battle of Prospero marked a pivotal moment where the Space Wolves were sent to confront the Thousand Sons. This conflict ignited a bitter enmity between the two legions, with the Space Wolves viewing the Thousand Sons as symbols of betrayal and heresy. Their fierce resistance against traitor legions during the heresy and the complexities of their relationships with other legions deepened their mistrust of centralized control. Emerging from the heresy, the Space Wolves reaffirmed their loyalty to the Emperor while strengthening their own customs and practices as a distinct and powerful force within the Imperium. Rebuilding after the heresy, the post-heresy period forced the Space Wolves to adapt to new realities. Reeling from heavy losses, they reorganized into 12 great companies, each led by a wolf lord. This structure allowed greater autonomy within the chapter, promoting flexibility and adaptability. Their recruitment practices also changed. Neophytes joined as blood claws, foregoing the traditional scout phase and instead learning through direct battle. This immersion in warfare from the start emphasized bravery and aggression, reflecting their unique ethos. By returning to their cultural roots on Fenris, the Space Wolves reinforced values of kinship, honor, and the warrior spirit, which became even more pronounced as they strove to preserve their identity in a galaxy reeling from chaos. Notable early battles cemented the Space Wolves' reputation as fierce and resilient warriors. Their confrontation with the Thousand Sons remains one of their most significant conflicts, reinforcing their combat doctrine of aggressive, close-quarters combat and marking the beginning of an enduring feud. Other engagements against orcs, chaos, and various Xenos foes showcased their ability to adapt and succeed in high-stakes combat. Known for their bravery, the Space Wolves often led assaults, focusing on honorable combat and battlefield glory. These victories, achieved through their unyielding drive and aggressive tactics, underscored their preference for fighting with fury and valor, establishing them as a revered force among Imperial forces. Gene seed strengths and flaws. The Space Wolves possess a unique gene seed known as the Canis Helix, which grants them heightened senses, enhanced physical strength, and a fierce, primal spirit. While the Canis Helix makes them exceptional hunters and warriors, it also carries risks, as mutations can arise. The heightened aggression it brings complicates recruitment, with mutations sometimes transforming initiates into wolfen, warriors overcome by bestial urges. This potential for mutation requires close oversight by the chapter's Apothecarium, who work diligently to maintain gene seed stability. The Canis Helix, while challenging, is also a source of strength, reinforcing their abilities in combat and their resilience, embodying the qualities that make the Space Wolves formidable warriors. Successor chapters. The Space Wolves are unusual among Space Marine legions in that they have no official successor chapters. The unique nature of the Canis Helix gene seed and the distinct traditions of the Space Wolves have led them to retain their identity as a single chapter. This independence has made them a self-reliant force, preferring to maintain their customs and traditions without forming splinter factions. While they do not produce successors, their autonomy allows them to operate effectively within the broader Imperium, collaborating with other Imperial forces when necessary, though often maintaining a wary stance toward more centralized Imperial organizations. Ancient allies and enemies. The Space Wolves have forged complex alliances and rivalries over the centuries. Their rivalry with the Dark Angels dates back to the Horus Heresy and the Dulan campaign, where conflicting strategies created a lasting tension between the two chapters. Additionally, their suspicion of the Inquisition stems from incidents like the Months of Shame, where the Inquisition's interference was perceived as a threat to the chapter's autonomy. These complex relationships showcase the Space Wolves' fierce independence and sometimes contentious relationships with Imperial organizations. Their enemies include Chaos and various Xenos species, with whom they have fought countless brutal battles, cementing their role as dedicated protectors of humanity against all threats. Significant role in Imperial conflicts. The Space Wolves have fought in numerous crucial conflicts, including the Scoring, where they helped reclaim lost Imperial territory, and the Black Crusades, where they fought Chaos forces in defense of the Imperium. Known for their daring and aggressive tactics, They often serve as frontline assault forces, executing surprise attacks and unrelenting assaults. Their involvement in the fall of Cadia during the 13th Black Crusade demonstrates their unwavering commitment to the Emperor's ideals, reinforcing their reputation as valiant defenders. Beyond their battlefield contributions, they inspire others through their courage, standing as symbols of resistance and loyalty within the Imperium. Chapter Mythology and the Emperor. The Space Wolves honor the Emperor with a unique blend of Fenrisian traditions and Imperial devotion. They view the Emperor as a warrior deity, intertwining their worship with heroic tales of battle and sacrifice. Leman Russ is revered as their link to the Emperor's divine mission, with tales of his loyalty and valor inspiring warriors to embody his legacy. Fenrisian customs further enrich their belief system, blending their origins with the Imperial creed. This duality creates a rich cultural fabric, where honoring the Emperor goes hand in hand with celebrating their roots as proud, independent warriors. Legends of the chapter's founding heroes. The tales of Leman Russ and other early heroes are central to the Space Wolves' identity. Stories of Russ's feats, strength, and cunning are celebrated in sagas and ceremonial events, serving as moral and spiritual lessons. His valor and loyalty to the Emperor have become guiding principles for the chapter, shaping the behavior and expectations of Space Wolves warriors. The legends of other founding heroes, including the first Wolf Lords, reinforce these values, providing a model of leadership, bravery, and resilience. These tales are integral to Space Wolves' culture, teaching warriors to embody the virtues of their storied past. Chapter reforms and traditions. The Space Wolves underwent significant restructuring post-heresy, establishing the 12 great companies, each led by a Wolf Lord. This structure allows them flexibility and autonomy in operations, reinforcing their independent spirit. Despite these changes, they maintain traditions rooted in Fenrisian culture, emphasizing honor, courage, and kinship. Their rituals often involve tests of strength and bravery, fostering brotherhood and loyalty. This culture of personal glory and honor, distinguished from Codex-compliant chapters, helps retain their identity while adapting to a changing galaxy, ensuring that their heritage thrives despite external pressures. Relics and artifacts. The Space Wolves possess many revered relics, such as the Spear of Russ, which symbolizes their connection to Leman Russ and their heritage. These items are not merely ceremonial, but serve as tangible links to their past, often used in battle to inspire courage and honor. Other artifacts include custom-crafted weapons and armor with wolf motifs and Fenrisian elements, underscoring their identity. These relics are preserved and treasured as embodiments of their chapter's spirit, reminding them of their history, values, and the ideals they fight for. Role in Terra's defense or the Imperium. The Space Wolves have defended the Imperium against numerous threats, protecting Terra and key Imperial worlds. Their role extends to leading major assaults and defending humanity from chaos incursions, Xenos invasions, and internal threats. Their legendary status and battlefield presence make them formidable defenders, inspiring Imperial forces and civilians alike. The Space Wolves' actions resonate within the Imperium as examples of valor, showcasing their commitment to the Emperor's vision and their resolve to protect the Imperium's people. The Apothecarium and Gene Sacreds. The Space Wolves Apothecarium oversees the management of the unique Canis helix gene seed, carefully monitoring for potential mutations. The apothecaries are skilled in both medical and genetic sciences, ensuring that each new recruit embodies the traits and values of the chapter. Beyond their genetic duties, the apothecaries play a ceremonial role, conducting rites for the fallen and overseeing new initiates, reinforcing the values of brotherhood and honor integral to the Space Wolves. Combat Doctrine. The Space Wolves' combat doctrine emphasizes aggression, adaptability, and close-quarters combat. Their tactics involve rapid assaults, ambushes, and heroic charges led by wolf lords. Their warriors are encouraged to seek personal glory in battle, with an emphasis on individual courage and battlefield heroism. Units like Wolf Scouts and Long Fangs enhance tactical flexibility, enabling them to engage foes effectively under diverse conditions. This doctrine reflects their Fenrisian heritage, valuing both individual prowess and collective strength. Elite Units and Dreadnots. The Space Wolves' elite units include the Wolf Guard and Dreadnots. Wolf Guards serve as elite warriors and personal guards to their leaders, showcasing the highest standards of bravery and skill. Dreadnots, venerable warriors encased in ancient armor, embody the chapter's values of resilience and honor, continuing to fight in the Emperor's name. These units exemplify the chapter's emphasis on honor, bravery, and camaraderie, inspiring others and serving as the ultimate symbol of the Space Wolves' martial spirit. Weapons and Armor. The Space Wolves' weapons and armor are distinctive, with intricate Fenrisian designs and wolf motifs that reflect their culture. Signature weapons like frost blades and wolf claws embody their close combat focus, and each piece is often customized to honor individual warriors. Relics like the armor of Russ hold ceremonial value, enhancing their cultural and spiritual significance. These elements combine practical combat effectiveness with a deep respect for their history and heritage. Fleet and Space Combat. The Space Wolves maintain a powerful fleet, equipped with battle barges and strike cruisers to support rapid deployments and aggressive space tactics. Their approach to space combat mirrors their ground doctrine, focusing on surprise attacks, decisive strikes, and direct engagements. This aggressive style allows them to project power across the galaxy, reinforcing their reputation as fearless defenders of the Imperium, ready to confront threats in any theater of war. Their fleet embodies their adaptability and commitment to the Emperor's vision, ensuring they remain a key force within the Imperium.